came in over the top. We had our number 10, I think Thomas, made that run through the gap, right through the channel. Just simple the ball over the top, right through the channels there, right through the lane, and he made that run. Of course, the defender did that cardinal mistake of sliding. I mean, come on. Your first rule as a defender is stay on your feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the moment he committed and he escaped the challenge, then the fans, the pandemonium, the excitement, everybody was on their feet. And he cut into the middle. He cut right down the lane. We're like, oh, this is it. This could be the moment. Everybody was standing up. He centered that ball and income Yaring trade just right there, tapped it in, and you should have seen it. It was wild. Oh, everybody went crazy. The celebration was absolutely pandemonium inside the building. It was ridiculous. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, it was just a great way to end the game.
Yeah. Now, so, post-game, the jubilations, take us to a bit of the post-game. What happened outside the stadium. We want to get a feel of...
They are still outside the stadium partying right now as we speak.
Oh, really?
They are still up they're in Sankofa Square right now. Right, as you know, they changed the name of Dundas Square here in Toronto to Sankofa Square.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just due to the number of Ghanaians up in here, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so anyway, they're still in Dundas Square, probably still partying right now as we speak, man. They were getting nice and loud before I left the area there.
Right.
It was just absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be all night through morning, yo.
Now, let me get into it. Let me tap into a bit of your expertise when it comes to, coaching. What do you make of, the game itself yesterday? It was a game of two halves. The Stars clearly struggled in the first half, found a way to come back in the second half. In that first half, what went wrong for the Stars?
I don't think it's so much as to what went wrong. I think it was just more of we were a little. It started off obviously nerves kicked in. You know what I mean? It's understandable that your nerves can kick in, but I think what we didn't do enough is we didn't apply too much pressure on the ball. So one of the things that I noticed that we weren't doing a lot of is we weren't winning the first and secondary balls, especially the secondary balls.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of balls were played through the air over the top, and sure, we'd win the aerial duel on the first ball. But then when it drops, there's the secondary ball, right? And there was no Ghanaian players there to pick up that secondary ball. So every time we won an aerial header, it went right back to Panama again. And then they cycled that ball one more time. And I mean, credit Coach Quiros, like we weren't pressuring them up the pitch. We maintained the mid block, which is where you hold them up you hold them right at center, right?
Yeah.
And so it allowed them to play with the ball, but albeit in their own half. So they were cycling the ball, pinging the ball left and right, all across, like all day long. They had all the time in the world to ping that ball left and right and just cycle along the back. But there was no real penetration into our box. So credit coach for that. I mean, he kept the defense nice and compact, and there weren't any penetration. So though they had possession, it was non-threatening possession. Yeah. With the exception of maybe that one odd chance where he hit the side meshing. But other than that, I mean, though we didn't get a lot of the ball, at the same time, it was not as scary, like they were not scary.
Now, let's look at that second half. What's changed, and what did the coach do to ensure that in the second half we look better?
So in the second half, he decided to apply a little bit more pressure. He gave them less time on the ball, and we decided to, and I think we were winning a lot more of the secondary balls. One of the other things too that I thought we weren't doing a whole lot of, weren't being too successful with, is moving forward from the back. So I mean, our D-mid would pick up the ball, I think number 15. He would come in and pick up the ball nicely, but there were no real outlets pushing forward. So we weren't really breaking any lines. Right, so then our only options were to pick it up. His only options were picking it up and pushing it wide, right? And even when we did get wide, we weren't getting any real opportunities because there were no runners going through the channels, right? Nobody was making the runs. Nobody was making the forwards weren't really making those runs through the gaps, right? And so we couldn't really advance the ball very well. And I think that's what I kind of changed in the second half. And I think the real glaring change came in when in the last minutes, actually, when we decided to make a little change up top, and number 10 came in. So we got more agile runners up front, and they were willing to make those runs through the lanes, through the channels, allowing for those diagonal balls, and even allowing for those balls over the top. because initially in the first half we were quite stationary, our forwards were stationary, looking for the ball to come into their feet. Yeah. Whereas in the second half, we decided, okay, you know what? Enough of playing to the feet. Let's get forwards that are going to make the runs through the channels and through the lanes. And so we started to advance the ball a little bit better into the gaps and into the lanes and through the channels there over the top.
Right. Let's talk a bit about the Black Stars players. I mean, for you, watching that game, who impressed you the most in that game we watched yesterday?
Oh wow! Okay, so I mean. Without really oversaying it, it was definitely our number 3, Caleb. Yeah, he was phenomenal, and I was actually a little surprised because he picked up that early yellow card, I think in the 15th minute or so. And so, I mean, when you pick up a yellow card, you expect the player's intensity to kind of calm down a little bit because he's at risk of getting a second yellow. But no, it didn't faze him at all. He still kept that same energy level up. He played well. He was all over the pitch. And I think he did extremely, really, really well. Yeah. And 15, I think 15 was holding on the base. And I know his role was playing in a 6th position, so to speak. So he was picking up the balls from the center mids or from the center backs. And he was supposed to be the distributor. Right. He did a good job distributing and,
that was Elisha Owusu. Elisha Owusu.
Yes. Yeah. Owusu, thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I thought he did very well defensively and in shielding the back 4. I thought he was excellent. And maybe we struggled to push forward because he didn't really have many options up front. So then he was compelled to either come back or look for an option wide. Right. But I thought he had a good game. And then when we made the substitution, brought in number 8, I thought he was more direct and more dynamic. He was more energetic on the ball. And yeah, it was really good. Right. Then our number 7 that came in on the wing as well. He brought a nice change of pace. Like he was attacking, taking runners on, which was something that we weren't really doing too much of, aside from maybe the number 3, Yerin Shah, doing it. But when he came in, he created an additional dynamic because he was willing to run at players. Right, and when you're running at players and carrying the ball, you draw in more defenders onto you, allowing more players to be open and being able to slip in those balls. So they were some really impressive. And let's not forget our keeper. Yeah. Ziggy made a solid save at the start of the game that just, could have been a turning point. Had he let that one go in, we would have been 1-0 down 2 minutes into the game. But he made a ridiculously nice save right at the beginning, showed some good confidence and allowed the back line to settle into their zone, right? I mean, when you have a keeper that's confident and feels assured of himself, it allows you back 4 to really perform and do their thing. So, no, credit to him for sure. And we hope he recovers nicely from his injury.
Sure. Now, let's talk about Jordan. And you are a coach. I mean, in games like this, almost everybody in the stands, everybody watching on the screen would realize that a player like Jordan is tired. Why would a coach want to leave Jordan on the field for 87 good minutes when clearly those of us out there are seeing that he's tired? I mean, is there any special thing he was doing on the pitch that the coach possibly liked and kept him on for that long?
So, to be fair, I mean, he was still chasing down balls every now and then. So, I mean, his defensive work rates was fairly solid. So that could have been why the coach wanted to keep him down, keep him on the pitch a little bit longer. And of course, also as a captain, he inspires the team a little bit more, right? But I think maybe the substitutions could have been made a little bit earlier. Not to question Coach Carlos, no. But I'm just saying, like you said, we all saw it. We watched the game, Maybe the substitution could have been made a bit earlier. I'm thinking maybe even in the 60th, 70th minute, because even though they weren't threatening us, we were also failing to create chances, right? It was only until the substitutions came in and we had different types of strikers coming in and different types of forwards coming into the play that allowed us to create chances. So maybe Coach Quiros could have maybe made that substitution just a little bit earlier, right? But I mean, could have, would have, should have, man, You can't armchair coach after the game is done. It's easy.
That's right. Just a quick one. Earlier today, Nathan and I were talking about Portugal coach Martinez. Almost doing a similar thing. Keeping Ronaldo on in the game when everybody 100%. Realized. 100%. Yeah. I mean, your quick thoughts on that as well.
Yeah. Okay. So. You know, it's not it to some degree. They really mirror each other, right? I mean, you have a situation with Portugal where you have Ronaldo, and I mean, he's a phenomenal. Say what you want about him, whether you like him or not. He's absolutely splendid, magical player. He has all the accolades behind him, whatever. But you have but you have a young Portugal team that's hungry, ready to go, raring to just get up and running. And so when you keep Ronaldo on, or you start Ronaldo, you're taking away from the youth and the exuberance of that team, right? And so I think for me, I mean, if I'm Martinez, I'm bringing a player like Ronaldo on in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game because he does not have the capacity to go the full 90, right? You got to make that substitution a lot, and like you got to bring him in off the bench. Similarly, maybe that could be the case with Ayew,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe reserve him. You know what I mean? Keep him on the bench and then bring him in the last 25, 30, right? Because he offers you something different. He offers you something special, right? But based on what we've seen right now, maybe allow the younger players to do their thing. But I also understand where he's coming from. Like it's the first game of the World Cup. You know, what I mean, you want to ensure that your best players are on the pitch and getting maximum motivation, right? And he's a leader, like through and through for our team. He's our captain, so maybe he wanted to ensure that we have that gel and that cohesion, right, within the team before he decides to start making changes.
Now, looking at the game we played yesterday and how very toothless we were up front, up to the time we scored that goal, should Carlos Queiroz have possibly introduced a player like Inaki Williams, who would have brought in a bit of injection of pace and dynamism?
Absolutely. But however, you got to understand though, when you're introducing a player like Inaki Williams, you're looking at a different type of striker, right? I think Jordan is the type of striker that he likes the ball at his feet. He likes to play the ball at his feet. He's not very strong in the air. I mean, not to say he does not score headers and aerial goals. No, he can score aerial goals, but Inaki is a player that is an aerial threat.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're bringing in a player like Inaki, that means you need to start sending in balls into the box.
Right.
Right. And yesterday, I think our wingers were not what's it called?
Floating
told
the ball
told to play that approach. Exactly. So if you're bringing in Inaki, then now your approach changes, your game style changes, right? So now you're saying, okay, when we hit the wing, you need those early balls into the box, right? You don't need to take it to the corner flag first before you send the balls in. You want those early balls into the box before the defense actually has the opportunity to set up and be set. So when we're all running into that box, the striker has that advantage. That's why you want to swing those balls in early. And when you have a striker like Inaki Williams, who's big, strong, can hold up the play, that's his bread and butter. Just keep feeding him those balls. So I mean, it's a different style, different approach. Maybe because the lineup that the Panamanians came in, because they were playing three at the back, right? They were opted for a 3-4-3. So it's essentially you're looking at three central center backs.
Yeah.
Right. And then the wingers come drop back in as wing backs. So with three center backs, I mean, and only one striker up top, who would be Ayew, so sending balls into the box would not be the most effective approach.
Yesterday, we clearly missed the services of some of our top defenders. There was no Jiku, there was no Salisu, but the two center backs, Ajete and Jerome, they played a fantastic game. Have we finally found a replacement for these two men, and have we finally now gotten off the mark where we over rely on a certain group of defenders and now found replacements to give us a lot more solidity at the back?
Absolutely. And I forgot to mention, when you asked me player of the match, one of the props goes out to our number 18 in the center back. He was absolutely a beast. That was is it
Opoku, Jerome Opoku.
Yes, Opoku, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a titan in the back, solid. Like those aerial balls, he was clearing those out left, right, and center. Like that partnership in the center back, I mean, I don't think they made a single mistake all game long. They covered for each other nicely. One played the man, the other one played cleanup. They were excellent. Absolutely excellent. And I think, from what we saw yesterday, I think they're more than capable of, deputizing for players like Salisu and our other center backs that we are our usual go-tos. Yeah, so definitely a strong back four that we can be proud of for sure.
Right. Isaac, my co-host Nathan Kwao is here with me. So the next voice you are going to hear is going to be the voice of Nathan Kwao. He has a question for you.
Coach, good morning.
Absolutely.
How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Nathan. I'm good, Rio. How you doing?
I'm fine. We are surviving on 2-3 hours of sleep, but the job must be done. So we're here. Coach, I just wanted to get your thoughts on something. Yeah, I know we are still celebrating and all, but the next assignment is England. Do you envisage any personnel changes in terms of, the starting 11 Carlos Queiroz puts out, or, or as coaches, some coaches will say, look, what's not broken, you don't try to fix. So do you envisage personnel changes or the same starting 11 but with different instructions or different assignments on the day?
Okay, so I think when you're going up against a team like England, you have to change it up a little bit. You need to change it up because for me, having a striker like Inaki for the England game would be ideal because he's a threat in the air. He's strong in the air, right? We can keep feeding him over the top, right? He's strong. He can press. I think one of the things that we want to do when we play England is not give him too much time to circle and cycle that ball around the back. So if you have a striker that's willing to do the dirty work and press their fullback or press their center backs, right? I think that's going to hurry up their play and allow them not to have too much time on the ball. I think a couple personnel changes would be nice just up front, like Thomas. I think it was Thomas, number 10 that came in. I also think he deserves a look as well. Because what he brought to the game was absolutely phenomenal. He brought some good pace. He brought some running down the channels. And I think we're going to definitely need that when we go up against England.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Coach, are you going to see any more Ghana games? Will you be in Boston?
I wish I was in Boston, but no, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to watch that one. I'm going to have to watch that one from a distance.
Right. Yeah. Coach, we appreciate your time. I mean, it's almost 4 a.m. in Canada. You've not had any sleep after the game. We appreciate you staying up to join us on Sporty Breakfast this morning. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you well.
Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure to join you guys. Keep up the great work. It's been excellent.
Sure. Hopefully you'll be on a subsequent shows. I mean, if you're able to wake up early enough to join us.
Absolutely. Just you get the Black Stars keep winning. We'll be here all week.
Right. Thank you very much, Isaac Ayiku, for joining us on the show. And Isaac Ayiku joined us all the way from Toronto, Canada. Yeah. Isaac is a coach educator and a learning facilitator with the Canadian Soccer Association. He's a certified instructor for the FIFA Football for Schools Capacity Building Program. Wow. And he holds a CONCACAF License A Diploma Coaching Certificate with over 20 years of experience leading high performance programs. And so, coaches, Nathan, coach is a top guy.
Yeah,
he's a top guy.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. Thank you very much for joining us. So he was at the stadium yesterday.
Yeah.
He caught up with all the action. He watched the game right from start to finish. And, he brought us a bit of, everything that happened.
Look, I always say that I like it when coaches watch games, right? And you have chats with them. They are able to point out things the regular Joe can't see.
Yeah.
That is why they have the specialized education. They can see things. When you have conversations with them, they enlighten you. They open your eyes a bit to some of the things that happen on the pitch that you would ordinarily miss because you are so caught up in it. Or even if you are seeing it happen, you cannot recognize what it is you are watching. So great stuff to have him around. Kwabena Danso will also be joining us. He will give us the in-depth. Because he has time.
Yeah, he has a lot
He will
of time,
give us the in-depth thing. He will talk about other things. England. I would really like to see and hear from Coach Kwabena Danso on England and the difference between the first and second half and what it did, right? Or what Tuchel did to get them to
shut up shop.
And create separation and eventually get the 3 points against Croatia. Because the first half was I score, you score. But in that second half, they kept Croatia.
I score, you don't score.
You don't score. and I look at, this is why you had the top coaches.
Yeah.
To be able to turn things around, right? And get their teams to fire and to get the result they want, right? I think Tuchel might go back here. He will look at the tapes and say that, the goal's poor. But he also tell himself that, listen, England have look, they beat Croatia 4-2 Euro 2004. In 2007, Croatia stopped them from going to the Euros. Croatia beat England 2-1 in 2018. So to get 4 goals past them in the World Cup group opener, good work done. Good work done. Good work done. So I'd like to understand what it is England did. And I'm sure as we go through the analysis, we'll pick out a thing or two as to what we can do. But as I said, today is the celebration.
Today is the celebration. As for today, see, if you have a problem with any player, if I open the phone lines, don't come and talk about that problem. That one, we'll discuss it tomorrow. But as for today, let's give them their flowers. Today, let's give the Black Stars their onions. Let's give them their onion. You're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takrady, 91.3 in Kumasi. Share your thoughts with us on the Black Stars performance yesterday. 0542571061, 0542571061. Nathan, should I open the phone lines? Let's hear from Ghanaians.
Yes.
Let's hear from Ghanaians. I mean, it's a good time to hear what they think about yesterday's game. By you today, I beg. Today, let's celebrate. See, today, don't come and remind us of how we didn't play well in the first half, we didn't do well, and how England looks scary and all. We have 3 points in the bag. Let's worry about England later. So today, when you call me, you just say nice things. You see, yesterday I sounded a note of caution. If the Stars hadn't performed yesterday, today would have been fireworks. Today, we have to give them. You have to sing praise and worship. Nathan, is that not so?
Yes.
Today we have to praise them because they did well. We needed 3 points. Nathan, is that not it?
We have 3 points.
Points now. And they brought the points. So you today, when I open the phone lines, you take your time, relax. 0542571061, 0542571061. Let's hear you. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning. My name is Caleb. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Let's hear you, Caleb.
I'm very, very happy for the Black Stars. I was happy. I almost left off today. When I woke up, I saw it was goalless in the first half. I was even praying for Black Stars to win. Then when I woke up this morning, I went through the score and I saw it was 1-0. I was very, very happy. Hey, celebrate. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Black Stars. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm happy for the Black Stars. I wish them all the best.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. It's a pleasure having you. 054 257 1061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
My name is Husband.
Husband, let's hear you.
As you concluded, 3 points in Anaya Shishi. And we've gotten the 3 points. We kept the clean sheets. It's been a long time we kept clean sheets. But there are still work to be done.
Yeah.
Meeting England and Croatia will be more tougher than the game we played against Panama.
Yeah.
Calibrate. We have to reappoint Otto and sack him again. You told us we don't have a right back. So what was Marvin Sanaya doing? Yesterday, was he playing as a centre back or a centre forward? Oh, so Caleb is our version of N'Golo Kante. Please, let's protect the boy. 20 years ago, the first player who scored our World Cup goal was wearing number 3. 20 years back, the first player to score our World Cup goal is wearing number 3. Round of 16. Have a good morning.
Yeah, they have a good morning today. You know, I didn't pick that. John World 3.
John World 3.
He scored our first World Cup goal and
6 against the Czech Republic.
That
goal.
Yeah, Nathan, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that,
Yeah.
but that goal, so almost like diametrically opposite, right?
Yeah.
So Jan scored very early.
Yeah.
About less than a minute in that game.
And he scored Very
and then
late.
Caleb scored very late.
It was the 2-3s.
Yes, the 2-3.
Right. Let's get on to the phone lines. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning. My name is Lawyer Kafui.
Lawyer Kafui.
Yes.
Where are you joining us from, please?
I click on.
Okay, right. Let's hear you.
Well, we thank God that we picked up the 3 points. That is most important. But I'm just kind of afraid for our next opponent, that is England. And if we are to do what we did yesterday, then I'm afraid the goals are going to be flowing into our net. But let's see what happens. The number 10 that came in was very, very good, and I believe he should be starting the game. Are you? I don't know, but he should realize that this World Cup, the free those things he used to do, and then he picks up a free kick, and I mean they are no longer doing those things in this World Cup. They should know by now, So he should stop those things, and probably if he should be benched, he should be benched. The coach should have the courage to bench him. That's my thoughts.
Right. Laura Coffey, thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. And, you're scared. We are all scared. But we hope that the Black Stars can get something out of that England game, hopefully.
Yes, we are praying. We are praying.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us on the show. You can also give us a call, 0542-571061, 0542-571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Ugochukwu, calling from Ashama.
Right, let's hear you.
This morning, I feel like I am the Caleb guy. Absolutely, that guy is phenomenal. Just I don't know, hybrid version of my Calestian, box to box maestro. I love the way he moves back and arrives late at the ball. He's very, very fantastic. He's a fantastic player. You see the General you see, against England, I feel like the team is going to need him a lot because against England, I don't think you will see a lot of the ball. And when you see it, you need someone like that to hold up the play, commit fouls, set piece. As you can see, set piece is beginning to be an attacking threat in the current football world. And England yesterday scored seems like it's two. So when you get a lot of that, that center back of England I saw yesterday in the first half, that ball hole, they leak a lot.
Yeah.
And when you get those set piece, you make use of it. Probably you can score, get a draw, and when things don't go well for England, you get your win. That's how the match is gonna go. I mean, there's nothing to be scared of, and the match that was won yesterday gave the boys a lot of confidence. I mean, they are filled with confidence, and I feel like I am that Caleb guy. I mean, judging from where he came from, last 2-3 years he was playing locally, and fast forward to today, he scored the goal. I mean, he was very, very happy. So he's dancing with Asawajan. I mean, that was fantastic. He should enjoy. And more to come. I pray he gets more because definitely in this transfer window, I just pray that he gets a good club.
Right.
He's the next Michael Essien.
Right.
The Ghana people should rejoice.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. Give us a call, 0542-571061, 0542-571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yes, Mr. Raymond, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is George. I'm calling from Tema.
George, let's hear you.
Yeah, so first of all, who gave the man of the match to Semenyo? Because I thought
Otuado and his friends.
I thought it could have been Jonas, Caleb, or Jerome. They played very well.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Ghanaians are comparing our team to the other countries. Do they want us to play so well and lose? If you watch the coach's tactics, you realize we soak the ball in the first half. So in the second half, around 60 and 70, then he unleashes the speedsters. That is all that we want. We are not supposed to play like Senegal. They play on the ball, then they lose. No, World Cup, we have to play with a strategy. 3 points, 1 point. 3 points, 1 point. You have to avoid and lose. Good morning once again.
Good morning to you, George. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. Give us a call, 0542 571061. Today, it's all for the Black Stars. It's all for the Black Stars. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, everyone. Yamado.
Good morning.
I'm Korea calling from Sport Emma Chimota.
Right. Kojo, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. My regards to your band there.
Yes, Nathan is here.
Nathan, eh?
Yes, Nathan is right here.
I greet all of you.
Right, right.
Yes, yesterday I said that I have confidence in this coach. Because I've been following football for quite some time. And I know a good coach when I see one. When I watch the match against Wales, I say, Ghana, we have no fear. Don't fear. England, look, there's a plan for every game. You understand? If you watch yesterday, just as the coach was saying, we so-called the pressure, but we are relying on counter. So let them take all that midfield, let them do what they do with it. When we get you, we'll bounce on you, and then we'll deal with you. So it was a wonderful game. The boys did very well. My only problem is with Jordan. You say we should not criticize anybody, but when something are not going well, we have to say it. He likes holding to the ball too much. As a captain, you always to distribute. When the team wins, you also take part of the glory. By holding on to the ball, even when you have to release it, it's not the best. And Benjamin Asare, if you watch him, he holds the ball like those days Robert Mensah. When the ball is coming, he does not panic. It's not jittery. He's very calm. That's why I say that boy should be our number one. But I'm not a coach, but from the way I see it, I think again he's too jittery. And he's too rush. Yesterday he got himself injured. So that is that. I mean, we go through.
But hold on, but Atis injury was a contact injury, right?
Yeah.
It was a contact.
It wasn't because
he rushed.
How so? The ball is coming into his box. He jumps up to catch the ball. A Panamanian player catches him on the thigh. Yeah. So how is it his own fault that a Panamanian player catches him on the thigh?
He jumped. The first jump, he injured the Panamanian player. He can jump, but as you are jumping, you jump with care.
No problem. But the point is that the rules allow for goalkeepers to partly protect themselves when they jump.
Yeah,
so you stick out your leg a little to warn the player that I'm here, don't try anything.
Yeah, I know. So that, you can defend and protect your area. I know, but what I'm saying is that Robert Mensah was a very huge and tall goalkeeper, but he jumps like a cat. Understand? So you jump, but so that you will not get some kind of penalty and all that. He's a good goalkeeper. I'm not saying I'm not satisfied with what he's doing. He's a good goalkeeper.
So you would like to see Asare in post against England?
Yes, Benjamin Asare. I like his composure and I like his calmness.
Okay.
The way he keeps the post. We are all Ghanaians. We all want the best for our country.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm not being unnecessary a critic for nothing. I'm not being unnecessary critic. I just want the best.
I get you. Kojo, thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Right, God bless you too. Well, no, Nathan. He says he wants to see Asare in post against England. We'll see. I mean, Carlos Queiroz will take the final decision. But let's get back onto the phone lines. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Yamado.
Yes, sir.
And good morning to Mr. Kwao as well.
Yes, Mr. Kwao is here.
This is Augustine. I'm calling from Accra.
Right, let's hear you.
Yesterday, my highlights of the game were, I think, four. First of all, when the camera fell on Asamajan. And then, two, when Benjamin Asare was warming up. I heard a commentator, the co-commentator said that according to Benjamin Asare, he said he only became a goalkeeper because there was an in-game situation where there were no goalkeepers, so he decided to, and then they were having that chit chat, and I mean, I really loved it. And you see, there's one thing I want to say, that football always comes with moments. It's up to you as a player to choose which moment you want to be remembered for. Yesterday, looking at how the game was being played, so we suffered a lot. But when the guys stand up, so there was something so clear that when these guys are being released, you say, yeah, they can do whatever that they want to do. Granny Thomas Asante, you see, when the ball went to the byline and then he got past the defender, and when he got close to the goalpost, we had numbers available waiting to pounce on it.
Yeah.
What does it tell you? It tells you that the players' way is like they have confidence in the guys that he was going to get past him. So they were just waiting for him to just bring the ball. And you see, these are things that money cannot buy.
Yeah.
My last one was when the camera fell on the vice president, and then she was dancing, and these are things money cannot buy.
Yeah.
It tells us that Ghanaians really love our football, and when they put in much effort and they serve the country well, we also give them whatever support that they deserve. Have a wonderful morning.
Have a wonderful morning too. And you can also give us a call 0542571061. You can also share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp line 0542571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, Ray. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Nathan too.
Yes, Nathan is here. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Asafi. I'm calling from Raintree, Amanfro.
Okay. Where is that?
Raintree, Amanfro.
Yeah.
After Apeja.
Oh, okay. Right. How are the people of Apeja doing this morning?
The people of Apeja and Raintree, Amanfro are doing very great.
Right.
And in fact, yesterday, the Black Stars gave them a lot to smile. And that is what we want. The game is full of passion. And, at times, some of these games release us sickness. At times, it also released us of our diseases. So, in fact, kudos to the Black Stars. And that shows that you are objective. In fact, I've been listening to you. When praise is due, you give the praise accordingly. When it is about criticism too, you give it accordingly.
Yeah.
And that makes you a complete human being.
Yeah.
You should not always be looking at one side all the time, whether good or bad. So the Black Stars, as you are saying, you will not criticize them today because they have played very well. And at the end of it all, it is a win that we want.
Yeah.
In fact, I like the way the coach was able to position the entire team. We have to give the coach a lot of praise. I really like his posture and demeanor at the touchline, the way he composed himself. Very, very good. And that is something we have to take critical look at. And when the game was even over, the way the coach even went to the fans, and look at how a 73-year-old coach, look at how he was putting himself. So beautiful. So I have to say kudos to the coach. And he has shown that he has experience. And this is what we want. So starting with the coach, when he even loses a match, you can even pick a lot of positives from it. The way he was able to set up the boys, in fact, it was so perfect. But one thing you have to also know is that the Panamanians, they came in with a lot of force. Because, if you look at our group, they see Ghana as a whipping boy. That is the only thing they can beat. So if they are meeting us, they have to play all out, no matter what. Because they cannot just go and say they are going to beat England so easily or Croatia so easily. It is Ghana. And if we look at the ranking, FIFA ranking, they are better than us. So far as this time is concerned. So why not? We have to put in a lot of effort. And we have to look at the game plan. The game plan that the coach devised was perfect. And I know when it comes to analysis, the likes of the coach Kavunad and coach, in fact, they'll be looking at it. The analysis that the coach actually devised on the pitch, in fact, is something we have to
very well.
Right.
The other time we're still about spirituality and all those things.
Yeah.
You know, the man, David, number 3. Now the man, number 3. It is not just here coincidence. Things don't just happen, my brother. Things just don't happen.
Yeah.
And look at the time that he even scored the game, the goal. You think it's normal with Ghana? No. Things just don't happen. But you have to really encourage the boys and support them with all tactics, no matter what it is. Because the Europeans, the Asians, they all have people and spirits they call. Football is, even sports in general, it's not just about your effort. You have to have a higher being, that is God, to always be with you. So for me, the boys, they have done very, very well. We have to applaud them.
Right.
Then they also go back to come and also criticize them. But there is something we have to look at. The man, the number 10 man, Brenton Thomas Asante, that guy is very good.
Okay.
He's very, very good.
Yeah.
He is very, 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 very good. You see that he's a positive player. He doesn't give up. And these are the players that we have to always encourage. Intelligently, very good. In fact, the 2 center half. If I thought the people were, in fact, they do very, very well, and we have to applaud them. We have to give praise where praise is due, and also criticize appropriately. Thank you very much to the Black Stars. They've done very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Give us a call, 0542571061. Today, Nathan, we are giving the microphone to the listeners. Let them express their satisfaction, their joy, their concerns. I mean, the Black Stars is for you. So, share your thoughts with us. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Emmanuel, let's hear you.
I don't know my location for now.
Okay.
We are parked on the park. we slept on the park yesterday.
Okay. Is it a BMO field?
Kali. See, yesterday, even Nathan knew me. I didn't have hope.
Yeah.
Yesterday, after the first half.
We all doing. we all had our concerns. Yeah.
So yesterday, when your white man and your black man, the way they were distressed in the first half. I say, after the first half, to be frank, I just went to the car and I went to sleep. I didn't watch the game again because I was very, very serious. I mean, the first half was very, very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. So, I was like, I just said, go. See, I didn't even open the this. I used my head on the windscreen. Charlie, the feeling I can't see. But the Ghanaians love the Black Stars.
As for that one, it is not in doubt.
Ghanaians love the Black Stars, and we have to start doing our things well. If the Black Stars is winning, nobody cares about the economy.
No.
Nobody cares about this. You say both emitter. That's funny. Nobody cares about water. See, there's one thing that I noticed. When the Black Stars, never the Black Stars is involved. Ghana is free. Ghana is so free. So, when I lead this, just look at this side and build this Black Star thing very well. They should build the thing very, very well for us. Because that's what brings us joy in this country. Apart from Black Stars, doesn't bring us joy in this country.
Yeah.
Nothing brings us joy in this country apart from the Black Stars. And it brings all of us together.
Yeah.
Yesterday, why they watch the match? Tell the people, if you make mistakes, somebody will slap you. No, somebody will slap you. Because people make what? Like a little mistake and you'll be beaten. That's the level Black Stars will take people to.
Right.
I mean, but well done to them.
Right.
Well done to them. There's more room for improvement.
Right.
There's more room for improvement. We have to improve.
Sure.
Much, Charlie. We have to improve because the way the match I watch against the England and Croatia, the match I watch, Charlie, me, I'm scared though.
So just like Otto said, when you have fufu in front of you, use your hand.
Use your hand.
When it's time for rice, use the fork.
And
when it's
when
time
it's time for soup,
you take spoon.
use a spoon.
Carlos will figure it out.
Okay. You guys have a good one.
Right, have a good morning too. You can share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp line 0542571061. We'll read a few of your messages. And then right. And keep your calls coming 0542571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
That's all your friend has said. That's a flop call.
Let's hear you.
That's why I'm matching with Shabby. I'm first half, no, not. I'm running now. You said that it was so your pastor's name for Elisha. The contribution, I'm saying, was from being someone extra training. Well, share blaster prayer, you share local prayers, I'm with you, my practice. Now, you're still at all. Where's it? Now, last friendly matches, standard no from, and also my and I can't say about attacker Jordan the contribution. I'm saying exactly the man born 19 minutes. No, just a stage now. You do no. I say you piano to cycle more that take out Westia. Osha the way we are attention now over Cup Iswa. As I say, mistakes no every one I'm wire. But you say where is war and can tell Dom Carrot. You get a threat to him. Like I need team connection. No. Quality now then up wire. Yes, I am for mine then I'm for Manco. It is a guy I want to just circle and again and I just tell when shot. Too much is not canon. Things now standard knows you. And to strategy be as I say you saw you can anyone was with a gun and send a gun anyone was now share across the world that Ghana for on my focus now that much if I ever boy so as I said to me yes I be. And that's again was here, we don't want to.
Yes, Dawasi for joining us on the show this morning. Sporty FM is live on Sporty 106 in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Call us, share your thoughts with us on the Black Stars and what you watched last night. Are you impressed? Were you impressed? And who were your standout performance in yesterday's game? Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, Nana Kwame here. I'm calling you from Pobiman.
Nana Kwame, let's hear you.
Yes, I'm so happy for the boys. We underestimated these guys from Panama, but they put up a very good show. But Ghana, I mean, these are the squad that we have, so we just need to motivate them, We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I don't know, they got a 3 point. That is the most important thing. It's not about blaming Jordan, blaming whoever. They all, put effort into winning this 3 points for us. So I believe if you really follow Ghanaian history when it comes to football, we usually don't do well with our first matches. I mean, especially on the world stage like World Cup. So I'm even happy that we have the 3 point. And for England, we will definitely have a strategy for them. Likewise, Croatia. So we just have to enjoy the moment. That is what I'm going to say. Ghana should just relax. What else? Look at these guys. Brother Sante, even Fatao, who came in. You could see everybody wanted to do something. That is the kind of spirit we want.
Yeah.
You see, they were ready to give out their all, and exactly what they did. And for me, I'm just enjoying the moment, And I'm praying that England, our West score should be just draw. Once we get a point, I believe we will definitely be part of the 32 teams or countries that will play. So for me, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
Okay, thank you guys.
No, thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. Give us a call 0542571061. Let's hear what you have to say about the Black Stars and their performance yesterday. I'll pick a few more calls before I get into the review of that game between the Black Stars and Panama. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Victor from Tema.
Victor, let's hear you.
Yeah, right. I think that we were all excited about the results. It's a good win. It's a good way to start the tournament. At least it settles us a bit. first, I want to say I'm surprised that Yoinchi did not get the FIFA Man of the Match award. I'm really surprised that Semenyo got it. But again, that's a conversation for another day. But I just want to just share thoughts on a couple of things. First, I found it really curious that Carlos Queiroz decided to experiment Kamaldeen in that number 10 role. I thought it was a disastrous idea. Good thing is he was pulled out quite early.
The voice of sport.
And I was wondering, because we have someone like Brandon on in the team. I don't know what he saw in training and why he thought Kamaldeen could do a better job from the off. But at least we got to that realization. It was a really, really terrible idea, I think. We need to have an honest conversation about Jordan Ayew. He's passed it. He's lost 2, 3, 4 yards of pace. He stays too long on the ball, doesn't lift his head to find a pass. He's quite frustrating to watch. We don't necessarily have to always start the captain of the team from in the game. He could play some 20, 50 minutes sometimes. You know, we are trying to manage a game. He can come in and do some work for us. But he is almost always a +1, -1 for us in games. And if we go into that England game and we start the way we started against Panama earlier this morning, they're going to blow us out of the water. I did say to Nathan, I think 2 weeks ago, that England are going to do a professional job on us. I don't think that we're getting any results in that game. But if we go in playing the way we did in that first half against Panama earlier today, we're probably going to be like 2, 3, 4 goals down, because England, from what we saw yesterday as well last night, a free scoring side. Harry Kane, my pick for Ballon d'Or this year, hopefully, best player in the world right now. Bellingham seems to be in the mood, and then surprisingly, even Madueke is doing really well, and we really need to be worried. But I want to just say this: Kwesi Sibo, his cameo, I thought that he brought some calmness to the middle of the park. He was quite composed. We didn't see too much of it, but maybe sometimes we're a bit too hard on Kwesi Sibo. I thought that brief cameo he had quite a good time on the pitch. And whether or not Partey will start against England is another thing, but a midfield trio of Brandon, Yoinchi, and Partey could be something we could be really excited about going forward in the tournament. So good morning.
Good morning, Victor. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. Give us a call, 0542571061. This is Sporty Breakfast. You're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. It's the morning after the night before the Black Stars beat Panama by a 0-0 to pick all 3 points in their first game of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, Ray. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Victor from Smithers.
Victor, let's hear you.
Yeah, first of all, we have not heard from Otu for since how many days now or weeks now?
Yeah, we'll check up on him.
Okay.
Right.
So, for the Black Stars, the first half, I think they were quite nervous. So, someone said that Ghana did not have a right back. But Sanaya, from what he has showed us, like from Wales games to the Panama game, the man that I say we don't have a right back. I don't want to say anything though, but you see, Elisha Owusu, I want to say something about Elisha Owusu. He should not start the game against England. Replace him back to Thomas Partey. Because England, you need a Partey that has played in the Premier League, that knows the style of play of England. So I think Ghana can hurt England like the way Cape Verde did against Spain. If Cape Verde have some quality up front, they can even win the game against Spain. So I think Ghana should do the same thing, take up all the pressure and hit England on a counter, so they can get a point or maybe the whole 3 points and qualify directly to the next round. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, Victor, for joining us on the show this morning. Still live on Sporty Breakfast. This is Ghana's #1 sports morning show, and we are just running the rule of everything that happened last night into this morning. The Black Stars took on Panama. Of course, we'll be talking about England, Croatia as well. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, so this line is a bit dodgy, and so we may have to pick another call. Yes, we may have to pick another call, but there's still a lot to talk about on the show this morning. First round of games at the FIFA World Cup played. We've seen 24 beautiful games. The Black Stars have picked their first 3 points of the competition. The Ivory Coast also picked their first 3 points after beating Ecuador. Morocco picked up a point against Brazil. The African countries seem to be doing well at the competition so far. Let me get back onto the phone lines. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, my name is Ni. I'm calling from Legon.
Ni, let's hear you.
Yes, I see a lot of people are really triggered by our first half performance, but I think that is very understandable because we know what this team has been through. I mean, having a coach that came in very late, and as well as trying to figure things out with just a few matches, going to the World Cup. So I think that we should pardon our first half because it's an opportunity to really see what he thought could really help us get the kind of results that we needed. But second half, we came back in, we got the results that we needed. And as you said from the beginning, that let's really appreciate what they've done to come back from a Panama. And I want people to know that Panama wasn't just, it's not a team that is like a walk in the park, even through their qualifiers and all that in coming to this point. They're above us in ranking, and we are coming from behind. We're now building something that would help us propel us.
Right. Yes, thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. So, like I was saying, it's been a mixed bag for the African teams at the World Cup. Morocco picking a draw, DR Congo picking a very crucial draw against Portugal. Then you also have Ghana winning, Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire winning. Some interesting results there. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Ray. My name is Philip.
Yes, Philip.
I'm en route to La Paz. Yes.
Okay, Philip, let's hear you.
Okay, sure. So first of all, you guys are doing a good job.
Thank
Yourself and Nathan, thank you so much for serving us the best in the city so far.
Fantastic.
Well, Ghana Black Stars really did well. I'm sure we shouldn't drop the gun about how we started the game. These players are new. They are yet to play more than 5 games even together. They are still fresh. They are getting to know each other. The coach had a strategy, and the strategy was to contain the Panama. It was just to contain them for the first half and see what we could do in the second half. And I think it really worked. It worked for us. We were able to contain them in the first half. They did not get much chances. Clear-cut chances, and I think that it really worked. When it comes to Jordan, I think he was part of the strategy for the game, and he played his part. I don't think we should really look at him in the way we always look at him. He's playing part of the team. The part of the team is playing his role as a player, and I think we should be content with that for now. Also, in the second half, we played very well, yes. But then I realized that they were tired. The guys were running in the first half. In the second half, they got a bit tired. There were a bit more space than usual in the first half. So the players who came on earlier had much space to work with. We can go back to the Wales game. If you remember, we started Fatao in the game. He didn't play much. But when Nyama came, he was explosive. Same. We started Nyama this time around. Nyama didn't really play much because there was not much space. When Fatao came in the second half, there was much space. It was explosive. So it's all part of the strategy. We shouldn't really see or say much of what we are saying, making it look like those who started really didn't play much. They did. They really did. They played according to the strategy the coach wanted them to play, and it worked out. In the second half, when they had that game, there were a bit more space, and they did well. Also on the ball case, yes, he played well, but again, I think the people were not, the opponents were not applying much pressure like they did in the first half. So he had the time to make some few passes and all that. Left with me alone. We should go with the same strategy in our subsequent games. Relax, soak up the pressure, release our twisted in the second half, and I think we'll do well. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. I'll pick my final call and then I'll read a few of your messages. We'll take a spot of music, and then when we return, Coach Danso will be joining us with all the in-game analysis, what happened in the course of the game. Then we'll get into, what to look forward to as far as our next game against England is concerned. And we'll also be looking at that game between England and Croatia. And then we'll bring you up to speed on what will be happening at the World Cup today. Let me talk to my final caller. Good morning to you. Tell us your name.
Hello, Raymond.
And where you're calling us from.
My name is Rainy, calling from Kwabenya.
Right, let's hear you.
Charlie, you see, there's one thing you and Nathan always say, that no matter what, Ghanaians have love for Black Stars. We still love Black Stars. I like what the last caller said, the one before me. Jordan shouldn't be seen as the bad blood in the Black Stars. He has a role to play. And secondly, with the two goalkeepers, we shouldn't forget that we have two number one goalkeepers in our team. It's just that both of them cannot be at the post at the same time. And lastly, Panama did a very good job on Jordan. That's why we didn't see Jordan flourish in the game. He didn't come to the party at all. So in our next subsequent game, we should have a...
Oh, sorry about that. I think I lost the caller there. You are my last caller, but you can do well to call me back again, and let's see if we can have a conversation. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, so I'm Kojo. Yeah, good morning, Raymond and Nathan.
Right, Kojo, let's hear you.
Yeah, so yesterday's game was really interesting. And, since the beginning of the tournament, I could point out this game as one of the worst. I don't know about your opinion. Both teams weren't that good.
This is Sporty
as yesterday. And then on the field of play, right? The first, I'll critique, the game on our part. Our coach was terrible, and you should ask me why. The first 45 minutes, we were not pressing. Jordan will be up for to be talking about throughout the game, and everybody seems to be having, is it something that they are seeing for him to play Jordan for over 80 minutes makes him a terrible coach, and it's as simple as that. We have the players. If you position the players well, they can deliver. There is no way Thomas Asante should be starting from the bench. He should be a regular, even competing with the likes of Kudus, etc. But when they will come to our team, we'll put them on the bench. And then these guys, Jordan and Co., Jordan's inclusion in the first 11 is becoming a national security crisis, I'm telling you. And we need to have a discussion and see the way forward. There is no way he can start in anything. Even in Leicester City, they are playing Fatau Isaaku, who is a bench warmer. Ahead of him, there is no way Jordan will start in Leicester City ahead of Fatau. So why? And then he's not impressive. He's not impressive. So, that is my view. Okay. If Jordan starts from the bench, he could be a good player. If he starts from the bench and he comes in the second half, the last 10 minutes, the last 20 minutes, he can be a good player. But if we are going to start him at the beginning of the match, he's going to make a mess of himself.
Hello.
We are not going to do good.
Hello, Mr. Caller. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good, Nathan.
Yes, Nathan here. Hello.
Yes. Yes, I'm here, please.
I'm only. The last time you were on, the last time you were on, you were going at Raymond, and I just remembered. I heard your voice and I remembered, so I was just saying hi. That today is your very good friend who's taking your calls after you called him a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it happens.
Anyway,
but, you know,
thank you for calling. Really appreciate it. We'll hear from you next time.
Right.
All right.
Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
So, you know, this is where, you know, I bring this segment to an end. Hey, Nathan, I have one more call. You know, let me pick this one. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My shout out to Nathan over there.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Yes.
Charlie, I'm good, and you?
Yeah, Charlie, we're there inside.
Sure. Yesterday we got win, so we are cool. We are happy. We are happy, bro. This is Barry speaking, bro.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, Charlie. Yesterday, the game we watched yesterday, Charlie, we make a lot of errors. The way the boys play yesterday is not in place, like especially the first half. We play badly in the first half. The second half, I don't know what happened. See, we don't have to go into this England with this lineup.
Yeah.
Or with the same style of play. We have to change things. See, the first half, the game is very bad. The practice is not going through. Nothing is going through. They are playing with a half-back. Panama is playing Ghana at half-back. See, their goalkeeper did not even touch one of our single ball in the first half. We don't even say any ball, any Ghana ball. Our ball never go to their keeper. He doesn't do anything. You see, that is that bad. So I was, yesterday, we Ghanaians are complaining that this guy, what do you call it, Jordan is not good enough yesterday. Jordan, that is how Jordan is playing this last season. Last season, that's how Jordan is playing. We know how Jordan is playing last. Jordan is not showing the game. Why if you go to Leicester City, they are benching him. Even you are not playing league, but they are benching him because he's not good enough. He's not good. They are benching him. So I wonder how the coach decided to keep him in the game at 80-something minutes. He hasn't moved. I think they will take him out and take somebody else. You see, but they keep him in the game at 87 minutes or something like that. No, it's very bad. We need a result because we know that this match, if we don't win that match, there is no way to progress. So that match, we have to find a way to win. So you, the coach, so we have to do the changes. This guy, our number 3 guy, Salisu, this guy,
Elisha Uzu.
The guy,
Oh.
Hey. Elisha Uzu, he waits yesterday. The guy is not showing. He's not anywhere to be found. You know that yesterday, our number is not working. The number is not working at all. You see, only this Irenchi guy. Irenchi guy is the only player that was playing well over there. The guy, there's a picture on the guy yesterday. I said, Elisha is not helping the guy. You see, yesterday, the changes that they bring this guy on.
Thomas Asante.
Okay. The time the Sibo come. The Sibo come, you see, the Sibo, he can give some contribution for the defense there. The defense is working. You see, so me, this next match with England, I prefer if this guy, Partey will come around. Partey should start this game because it will help me. If Partey did Partey as this guy, the guy over there, then we will do well. We can be able to get a result there. If we get 1 point, it's cool. Charlie, we can get a result there. If we need 1 point, we need 1 point. Even if we want to consider against England too, if we don't concede Chao, if we don't concede many goals, we will be able to progress.
Yeah.
Because I know that we can get a point. That 2 point, that 2 games that left, we can get a point over there. So we have to consider a goal, many goals. If you consider 1 goal, 2 goals, it's cool. We can progress.
Right.
So that is my thank you, bro.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. And this is where we are in the calling segment. We'll get into the discussion, but let me read a few of your messages. A few messages have come in. Let me read a few of your messages. This is still Sporty Breakfast. You're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, 91.3 in Kumasi. Let me read a few of your messages. A few of your messages coming through. Yes, but keep them coming. 0542571061 0542571061. Let's get a few of your messages and then we'll keep the show going. Okay, so this message is coming in from Kobe Baden. He's listening to us live from Dansoman Sahara. He said, I've been enjoying Coach Danso's analysis. I remember how John Stones had a good game as one of the double pivots in the UEFA Champions League. Okay, right. Let's read a few of your messages. Okay, so this message is coming in from Kobe Baden, listening to us from Dansoman Sahara. He says, the win has made us forget about Kamaldeen Sulemana, unless those with the technical eyes educate me on his contribution to the team, especially in yesterday's game. And some should understand that any game with its approach, well, I'm not getting that part, but he says even the Panamanians will approach the rest of their games defensively or with care. So that's what Kobe Baden is saying, but I don't get the last part of the Kamaldeen message. But thank you very much, Kobe Baden, for sending your message through. Now this one is coming from Vladimir. Vladimir says, I'm not impressed at all. It's not looking good for Black Stars. England and Croatia, it's going to be very, very bloody. Jordan is a liability in the team, and the truth must be told. He can't progress the football and must be benched for serious players to perform. That's coming from Vladimir. Thank you very much for joining us with that message. Now, this message is coming in from Benjamin Kwame Azosu, joining us from Adenta. He says, good morning, Sporty FM. Clearly, the coach made a very big difference yesterday. You could see that the changes that were made changed everything. One more draw can take us through to the next stage of the competition. That's coming from Benjamin. And yes, keep your messages coming. Now, this one is coming from Elom, joining us from Tema. Some people forget that Panama is 34th on the FIFA ranking and Ghana is placed 73rd. Panama aren't pushovers. That one is coming from Elom in Tema. And then this message is coming from Justice, joining us all the way from Takoradi. Yes, we are live on Takoradi. We are live on 102.5 in Takoradi. As a Ghanaian, the ecstasy that comes along with when Ghana wins is enormous. But we should literally not forget about the very few things that went wrong in the game. Ray, I would want you to tell me the exact tactics our coach deployed yesterday, because there was no pattern of play, and that's my candid opinion. Yes, Justice sending us that all the way from Takoradi. And yes, this message is coming from the USA. Okay, he says, now, between a keeper who saves more shots with a poor defensive line organization and a keeper who saves fewer shots but has a good defensive organization, who is a more good goalkeeper? Winter from Takwa is asking us that question. Yes, so we'll answer that question. Coach Danso will answer that question for you when he joins us. And this one is coming from Eddie in Spintex. He says, good morning, guys. Great job. The Kamaldeen experiment didn't work against Wales, so I was surprised we repeated it against Panama. That's his concern, Eddie's concern, joining us all the way from Spintex. Then this one says, good morning. Kudos to Mr. Kairos and his boys. Well needed 3 points. I'm happy for Jerome because he's been with the team for a while now and finally getting grips on an opportunity to deliver in the absence of the regular centre backs. I don't know what Kamaldeen does in training, but we'll talk about that later. I'm sure Jordan must be watching a lot of Hurricanes videos because he wants to be a ball-playing striker, which is not doing him a lot of good. But Kane does so much on the field, even defending. More room for improvement. Tuchel has got 2 bulldozers, Rice and Anderson combo in the middle of the park. They made Modric have an average game. Just imagine subs that came on for England up front. So much quality. Croatia were very vulnerable in defending crosses yesterday. As Martinez, he's just showing he's not man enough for the Portugal job. Ronaldo is a big player, but he's over 40. His best playing until 60, 70 minutes or coming on as a super sub for the last 30 or 20 minutes of the game. It was obvious he had to sub him yesterday, but he failed. All the Portugal players were trying their best to get the balls to him, even in situations they could take the chances themselves. I'm a big fan of Ronaldo, but his long stay on the pitch yesterday took a lot away from the team than adding. So that's coming from Nathan in Kaswa. So a few of your messages coming through. We'll get back to your messages in a bit, but Coach Danso will be joining us in the next 5 minutes. Let's pause for a spot of music. Let's celebrate the Black Stars a bit. Let's celebrate Ghana a bit. And right after that, we'll be joining the big game analysis with Coach Danso.
Anything sports.
This is extraordinary. Unbelievable.
Sporty FM Gotcha, the voice of sports.
And it's the morning after the night before. Black Stars made us proud yesterday by beating Panama by a goal to 0 to ensure that they go joint top of Group L with England. They are currently second. That's on 3 points with England. Next game for the Stars will be against the Three Lions of England on the 23rd of June. At the Gillette Stadium in Boston. There's a lot to look forward to. We'll be getting into a review of that game shortly. Coach Danso is getting ready. This is Sporty Breakfast, and you're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. This is Ghana's #1 sports morning show, Sporty Breakfast.
Here we go. Yeah, that's it. So here we go.
Anything sports.
Unbelievable.
Sporty FM Gachia, the voice of sports.
Pushovers. You know, your quick thoughts of, everything that happened yesterday.
Well, Raymond, yesterday was one of the days, just like the South Korea game in 2022 in Qatar, that long stay.
Yeah.
Many were expecting the team to, actually finish the game because they look at Panama and they're like, it's Panama, a football nation. But yesterday showed glimpses and, told us that football isn't about names, And now football is talent plus science. If you move away from it, you are moving far away from the game. And most of these Panamanians are players who are applying their trade in the United States, where football is virtually, growing every now and then. So the least talent that they have, they have a little bit of quality coaching, and then they are up there. And clearly yesterday they showed glimpses of the team that they are. But one thing, yesterday's performance threw me back to Carlos Queiroz and his unveiling and what he said, that we should be ready to do what? Suffer. And I said it, I made mention of it, that this is a coach who is very much pragmatic. The materials he has is what he wants to work with, is how he wants to play with. So he's not going to play to suit anybody's demand. At the end of the day, he's working, even aside personal glory, he's looking at his reputation and what would be for him in the next couple of that is years or months ahead of him. And that was the reason why yesterday he set up the way that he did. I'm glad he decided to keep faith in his, defensive partnership, central defensive partnership, the two, Ajite and then Jerome. It was very, very impressive. Maybe there were bits of, nerves from a lot of us because we hadn't seen any of these players, especially with the back five, including the goalkeeper. Only two had played as a World Cup. That is Gideon Mensah and then the goalkeeper. The rest were fresh. Very, very fresh. And I think Senaya did very well. He had, glimpses that he should have taken his time. Yesterday I was with Sam Johnson, and he just loved the energy and, the aggression from him. But the final ball, the final decision making, it's not every ball that he should go on the half volley. And I was very much impressed. In central midfield, the Caleb has showed us that he's a great talent. He's still young. I'm sure at 22, 23, when he hits his peak, he would have picked up lots of lessons to be the midfielder that, we can all trust with the team. But I want to give him so credit for that move and the goal he scored. He started the move, made the pass, and started running. He did not relent. As a central midfielder, not many would move upfield at that point. They would just make the pass and expect to come on the forward lines to run. But credit to Thomas Brandon Asante too. If you look at the sprint, It was more like he was running with Noah Lyles, trying to catch up with him.
Yeah.
And he managed to win the ball, took his time inside the penalty area. I remember the friendly match when he blasted the ball away and he was laughing and says, now he's learned his lesson with the ball.
Yeah.
And when he gets to another game, he'll make a better decision. And yesterday he took his time, bet his time. He was looking for Semenyo, but Semenyo was late and very early at near post. So the ball traveled and then it got to Caleb, who just had to just tap him. And I think in the last 2 games, if you've seen him, when he bets forward, he goes to the end of it waiting for the final ball. And that was what he was rewarded with yesterday. My only disappointment is in 2026, Raymond. I don't see how we'll start Kamaldeen Sulemana as Black Stars number 10. Fine. Maybe others will appreciate his skill set. But how different is this guy from Daniel James or Patrick Razak? End product is zero for me. His end product is a bit problematic, and for you to even play him as the number 10, you could see that he was drifting towards Semenyo's side, and most times they got clashed on the left hand side of our attack, and it was a bit problematic. And I think that the earlier the better we resolve that, it was going to help. And clearly, Niame's lack of match fitness, having lots of games, was telling yesterday.
Yeah.
You could see he wanted to, move with the effort. But I think these are the moments where, coaches will get to understand. Hopefully, come on, let me start someone else. Maybe it's Ahaku or any other person, Nyaki, and then bring Nyama on to just, capitalize on it. What the Ivorian coach did, MS5 did with Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
He would read the game better. Come by that time, the opponent would have won out. But I understand him. Nyama gave him lots to appreciate during the last friendly.
The Wales game, yeah.
Exactly. So there was virtually nothing. But, the players who stood out for me, Thomas Brandon Asante, Caleb Yunchi. And credit to Benjamin Asari. You read a message where someone was saying, you want a goalkeeper who make lots of saves with poor defensive organization, or you want a goalkeeper who would make less of very dangerous saves with very good defensive organization. I give credit to both goalkeepers. Ati distinguished himself in
I think Ati organized his defense well.
Yeah, but you could
hear him shouting.
Exactly. Asari does the same thing too. So I think I give credit to the two.
At the time Asari came into the game,
the players had settled.
Yeah, Panama.
And
Panama had not drawn back a
exactly.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the two of them did their jobs. Ati did his job. Asari came and he did his job perfectly well. And I like the final minute of the game. We all know that ball. If Ghana was down by a goal to nil, he would quickly get up.
Yes.
But it was good from him, and I think he's letting the experience, count and being smart in those moments.
But let me ask you this. Just a bit controversial, but many people have said, look, they didn't see any pattern of play. They didn't see any tactics. They didn't see Carlos Queiroz really influence this. It was almost like they were watching O2 all over again.
I think the first 45 minutes, yes, we were struggling to see any game plan. We were struggling to beat up with their 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, depending on whether they are attacking or defending or in transition. We were struggling to find answers to it. And especially when Kamaldeen was number 10, Jordan was up high, and then, Semenyo couldn't, pick up on what he had to do. It was quite difficult. Elisha and then Caleb were just all over the place. And it was because we were struggling to even identify what, Panama wanted to do. But in the second half, you could clearly see a pattern how he wanted to play. Just when he introduced, Thomas Brandon Asante and then brought on, that is Fatawi Shahaku too. You could clearly see that, yes, now let's get the ball to the middle, go the wide areas, and then, try to come central at certain points to go through the lines. And it actually gave us, a bit of, very good possession. But like I've said, the coach is still adapting to this team. The team is still very fresh for him. And I understand what we faced. First half was just disappointing. But second half, he picked up the pieces. If the coach reads in between the lines, make changes to just alter his team's play and influence, his team to come up against opponents who were better than him in the previous minutes. It clearly tells that, yes, he was a good tactician. Trust you me. When was the last time you saw Ghana make changes that early in games.
Yeah.
And it clearly tells you that
substitution started very
exactly.
early.
It clearly tells you that the coach understood the assignment and quickly made those alterations to salvage the team. And I think credit to Carlos Queiroz and the rest of the technical team. But like I've said, we should be ready to suffer, just like his first words when he came and he was being unveiled.
There will be more suffering against England.
Yes, Osaberima, he said it. And from yesterday, from the play we saw from England and Charlie, it will be devastating.
Kelvin, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Many have said that, look, that whole decision, that whole party mishap, was a blessing in disguise, because had Partey played in yesterday's game, maybe Caleb Yonchi wouldn't have started the game. Maybe it would have been Partey Owusu.
Yes.
And maybe the chosen one, Caleb Yonchi, may not have scored the goal. So in every situation, I mean, we should just we should just do our best.
But I'm sure the coaching team know that what Yonchi carries. I'm not sure they would let him out, especially yesterday, even when he was on a yellow card.
Yeah, he managed himself very well.
Exactly. Some of us were thinking, come on, this guy is going to get a second yellow, because he was still trying to win balls in crucial situations. And one thing I have learned from this World Cup is the referees are not giving cheap fouls. If you've realized it, they don't give cheap fouls. So if you are a team and you are playing and you expect the coach to give the referee to give you cheap fouls, it's not going to happen. So I think we leverage on that to make sure that we get Yonchi going. And looking at what he's delivered in the last couple of games, I'm sure even the technical team were thinking, if we leave him out, what are we going to do? Maybe they will devise a game plan that will suit Partey and that will suit Caleb as well. Maybe Partey deep line playmaker, you allow Caleb to do a lot more of the runs, because when it comes to tackling, even Yonchi was doing a lot more of the tackling than Elisha Owusu.
Yeah.
So then what is the need in playing Elisha when I think that I can have Partey, a deep line playmaker, and I can have Caleb do a lot of the box to box, and then we have a lot more of the ball possession.
Right. Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, you just had Kelvin Owusu-Ansah there. He'll be joining us. He'll be staying with us as we have our discussion with Coach Kwabena Danso. Coach Kwabena Danso is here with us this morning. He'll be taking us through the tactical bit of everything that happened yesterday. So Coach Kwabena Danso says he saw everything Carlos Queiroz tried to do. Everything he told the players to do, Coach Kwabena Danso saw everything. He's going to take us through in a bit. My brother, Michael Asaragwedu, has also joined us. Michael, good morning to you and welcome. It was a very long night. Yeah, but I mean, the job is the job. Yeah, good to have you guys. But, gentlemen, many people have said, look, this is a game Otto would have won by anyway.
You wouldn't have won,
we beg you. Coach Kwabena Danso is here with us this morning. Coach, good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Raymond.
Yes, and as usual, Coach Kwabena Danso is a resident expert, a resident tactician, a resident coach. He will take us through, the play-by-play analysis. He watched everything that happened yesterday, took his time to pay attention to every bit of play from a tactical point. And Coach Kwabena Danso is a video analyst, a CAF licensee coach, and a professional teacher. And is here to, as always, share his expertise with us on the show this morning. Coach, once again, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Great. Coach, where should we start from?
Ghana against Panama. Very, very good game. To be very honest with you, yesterday I made a mistake.
Okay.
For the first time in a long while, I decided to watch a Black Stars game as a fan and not as an analyst. So to be very honest with you, I had to stay awake
to watch the game again.
Before I was able to get my pieces together to be able to make a very good analysis of the game. Now looking at the game, Ghana against Panama, it was a game where Ghana did not do tactical changes, no.
Okay.
We did not do formational changes, no. We did what we call the like-for-like changes, and it worked for us in the game. Again, throughout watching the game, I thought that the biggest, issue for Ghana, of which we were unable to solve it, although we won. Let me put it on record. We were unable to solve our problem, although we won, was the pressing of Ghana. And after the game, I wasn't surprised. Let's listen to Antoine Semenyo, what he said after the game concerning Ghana against Panama.
Now, Antoine Semenyo.
Like I said, Panama, they had a great first half. They played really well. We struggled with the press. I see the videos online. Our front could get really get shots away. And because she said, we just need to be brave. We need to start pressing with the team. And slowly into the second half, we had that energy to go off and press and struggled. And that led to the winner.
Let me take the voice again. The audio was not too clear, but let's take it again and let's hear from Black Stars player Antoine Semenyo.
Like I said, Panama, they had a great first half. They played really well. We struggled with the press. I see the videos online. Our front could get really get shots away. And because she said, we just need to be brave. We need to start pressing with the team. And slowly into the second half, we had that energy to go off and press and struggled. And that led to the winner.
That was Antoine Semenyo speaking after the game on the tactical approach to the game. But Coach Wood, shed more light on what Antoine Semenyo was trying to say.
He said we struggled a bit with the pressing, especially in the first half. And that is true. In the first half, throughout the 45 minutes, Ghana was trying to find a way to press Panama, and we were unable to find that way. Even in the second half, where things appreciated a little bit, still we were unable to find a way to press against the back three of Panama. And join us on the tactical board. We are going to show you on the tactical board, and then we'll show you images to buttress this particular point.
Right.
Now, Raymond, after the first half, Ghana had 36% of ball possession, as against 64 for Panama.
Right.
After the second half, Ghana had 40. Panama had 60. So it means that the difference between the first half and then the second half in terms of ball possession was just 4. But the biggest difference was, the shots and then the shots on target. In the first half, 0 shots for Ghana. So our expected goal was 0.00.
That's right.
Because 0 shots for Ghana. But in the second half, Ghana had 8 shots and then 2 on target, of which one of them was Irenchi's goal. So that was the stats as far as the game is concerned. Now, as I said, the biggest issues for the Black Stars against Panama, to me, was 3. The first one is our pressing issue, or our pressing shape. The second one is our offensive transition, and then the last one is our possession. Now, Raymond, this was Ghana against Panama and how we decided to press them. Now, we knew Panama to come into this game with a 3 at the back. So a 3-4-2-1 from Panama. Right. And Ghana decided to start our press with a 4-4-2. So we had Jordan Ayew, Kamaldeen Sulemana as the front two to press, and then Nuama, Antoine Semenyo as our wingers with Irenchi, and then Elisha midfielders, and then our back line, the back 4. So this was the pressing structure of Ghana, a 4-4-2. But the biggest problem in this 4-4-2 was that all the time, the double pivot of Panama, they were free. All the time, the double pivot of Panama, they were free. And this was what really happened, and then why the double pivot, they were free. Now for Ghana, Carlos Queiroz is overly defensive as a manager. The underlying word is overly defensive. For most managers, they would want you to maintain a +1 on the defensive line. So looking at this, Panama would have 1, 2, 3 players, Ghana 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means that we will have a 4v3 on the defensive line. Right. But for Carlos Queiroz, since he's overly defensive, he wanted Ghana to get at least a +2 or a +3 on the defensive line. And that meant that the back line cannot, go man-to-man against them for us to get that +1. So in this particular instance, it was Owusu who would drop to take care of one of the attacking midfielders or the inside forwards of Panama. And now Irenchi will also, take care of the other one. So now with this, it means that Ghana will have 1, 2, 3, 4. But Panama will have only Cecilio Waterman.
Yeah.
They are center forward. Yeah. So now with this, Ghana will have a +3 on our defensive line. And then our midfielders will take care of their inside forwards. Now with this particular shape, it means that whenever Jordan and then Kamaldeen Sulemana attacks, press the back three of Panama, this pivot will always be free because of our pressing shape. And all the time they were free to receive. So let's look at how it panned out, and then some of the images, because all the time they were free to receive, and to me it was one of the things that really did not help the Black Stars. So looking at the game, Ghana really struggled with that particular one, and then our pressing shape was very bad.
Yeah.
Nathan, please go to Asare Bodu.
Okay. Right. Michael, you were with me yesterday at the Athletics Oval, and I mean, all of us did agree that the first half left much to be desired.
Definitely.
Much improvement in the second half, but in that first half, just as coach is saying, what did you identify as some of the challenges we had as a team?
I think number one will be chemistry, even before we get to coach. And the explanation is in two folds.
Yeah.
The standard of the Black Stars players has dropped. That one we need to understand it. But then again, another side of the discussion is we have a lot of players who don't have chemistry. That was the first time the defensive structure of the Black Stars, talk of the goalkeeper, the right back, the left back, the central defenders, that was the first time they had started in a competitive game for Ghana. And it was a World Cup opener.
Yeah.
Definitely there will be nerves, there will be tension. Caleb Irenchi and Elisha Owusu, that was the first time they were starting a game together in the middle for the Black Stars in a competitive fixture. The attacking structure, that was the first time such a composition had been made. So there were you could not really find the chemistry that you expect. I think coach will help us here. There is something known as automatism.
Automatism.
So what is it?
So you see, automatism really comes from what Asaribori just said, the chemistry. Once the players play together for a very long time, now they build what we call the automatism. So Asaribori knows that if I put this ball this way for Raymond,
he'll be there to pick it.
He will be there to pick it. So without even looking into that space, he knows that Raymond will be there. He knows that Nathan will be here. He knows that Immortal will be here, and that is the automatic.
And clearly you could see most of our players, they don't know what to do with the ball at a point in time, and that is where we saw a lot of players deciding to go solo. And it did not really work unless they were successful in their duel. So I think we need to understand it from that perspective as well, that in as much as these players might not be as talented as we compare to the good old days in 2006 and 2010, we are also being a bit unfair to them in terms of what we expect them to do on the field of play. It will take some time. Unfortunately, time is not our best friend.
Right. Michael, hold your thoughts for me. Let me get back to coach. And coach was trying to explain our pressing challenge.
And then the issues with our pressing. So now, Raymond, this is us at minute 1 minute 41 seconds. And this is the pressing shape of Ghana, a 4-4-2. But as I told you, the biggest issue with our present structure was all the time the double pivot of Panama. They were free.
Yeah.
And it was as a result of, this is our midfielder, Elisha, who is deep to look after this particular interior or inside forward.
Right.
And now we had our front two, Kamaldeen and then Jordan Ayew trying to press. But just behind them, there was two people of Panama who were free. And at this particular instance, Calibrenchi decided to follow and then try and press. And in the game, I'll show you a lot of examples where Calibrenchi, he was lost. Why? Because the pressing structure was wrong. Yeah. So he was really struggling to find the right rhythm and then the right moment to press. Now, this is us at the first minute. If we are to look at minute 10, now at minute 10, still the problem, persists. At minute 10, still Panama were building with their back three. Their two, pivots were still free.
Yeah.
And with this, the front two of Ghana, whenever they decide to jump, these two players, they were free. And in the game, we were really struggling to be able to press them, especially from our 4-4-2 mid block. So what Ghana decided to do was, okay, simple. Then let's change the formation. Because with the 4-4-2, Ghana was really struggling to press against Panama.
Right.
So Ghana decided to change to a 4-1-4-1 and then push Calibrianchi to join, the second line of the press. So this is how that 1-2 arranges on the tactical board with a 4-1-4-1 pressing shape of the Black Stars in order to be able to, to press against Panama. So now this is it. Now what we decided to do was push Calibrianchi, drop Kamaldeen, and then leave Jordan Ayew. Now it means that Jordan Ayew will be the lone player trying to press against the back three of Panama. And now with this, and from this particular point, now with Ernest Nuyama was unable to come inside a lot of the time. Why? Because of the three back of Panama. So he will be, looking at the left wing back of Panama. So this was it. Now at the right side, Antoine Semenyo would also be looking at this particular player.
Yeah.
But here is the point. All the time, Calibrianchi was torn between these two players. Should I go or I should stay?
Yeah.
All the time, he was torn between these two players. And this is a decision that, really carries a lot of weight in the game. Should I go and press this guy or I should stay? Because if you stay, it means that you are going to cover up. Or if you go, then it means that this guy is going to be free. And in the game, Calibrianchi really struggled with that. And I wouldn't blame him on that. Because with this, you need your technical team to communicate with you and tell you what you really have to do at this particular point in time.
So just like you explained in the Ivory Coast situation, the Cote d'Ivoire situation, where Diomande had that dilemma.
Yes. So this is Calibrianchi in that dilemma. Should you go here? Or you should come here?
With this. Yeah.
And don't forget that the reason why Ernest Nuyama was unable to, shadow press here for Calibrianchi to go is that there is a left wing back down here.
Yes.
So it means that Nuyama cannot go inside because if he goes inside, that left wing back is free. So now I was expecting the technical team of the Black Stars to, issue an instruction. This is as early as the 12th minute. As early as the 12th minute, we had this dilemma of our pressing. So, Raymond, I wasn't surprised when after the game, Antoine Semenyo said that Ghana really struggled with our pressing. Because to me, it was true. We really struggled with the way, we wanted to press. Now, this is Calibrianchi. Once he decides to, step inside and then Ernest Nuyama joins inside, then it means that left wing back there is free and he can always receive and then Panama can progress the game. So, in the first half, we really struggled to see the Black Stars, pressing effectively to win the ball off Panama. We allowed Panama with a lot of possession. It explains why Ghana had only 36% of the ball possession, with Panama having 64%. Because if Panama has the ball and you cannot press them for the ball, then clearly it means that they are going to play the game and then they are going to cause a lot of problems. Now, I've already mentioned that we changed our pressing shape to a 4-1-4-1. And even with that, Calibrianchi, had a dilemma either to press, to jump, or to stay. Now, this was the yellow card that Calibrianchi, he had in the game. This is as early as the 15 minutes. In as much as I think he's an excellent player, and especially yesterday, to me, he was our man of the match, not Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah, of course,
to me, he was our man of the match. Not because of the goal that he scored, but I'm even basing my argument on how he was, trying to press for Ghana. Because our pressing shape, it was only him. Our pressing shape, it was only him. So to me, the goal even just capped it off. But in the game, he was really, helping Ghana. Now, at this particular point, Panama had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 players in their own half when they had their offensive transition. Ghana had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if Panama has 9 players here and Ghana has 7 players here, then it means that at the back, Panama has only 1 player and then Ghana would be left with 3 players. So in this particular instance, I am thinking that Calibrianchi shouldn't have, fouled the player. The reason is very simple. Ghana had the numerical advantage at the back because we were having a 3v1. So in this instance, don't go for the yellow card. Don't go for it. To be very honest, after the yellow card, I was in a little bit of limbo as to whether he can, finish the game without a red card. And and he did that to perfection. He really managed himself. But I am thinking that at this particular point, you must read the game better and you should not go in for this particular tackle. Again, minute 16, Ghana still with our 4-1. So after we switched from the 4-4-2 in the 12th minute, at minute 16, Ghana, we were still using our 4-1-4-1 formation. But now we did a small, tactical tweak with it. Now Jordan Ayew was tasked to, shadow mark one of the pivots of Panama, and that meant that the back three of Panama will be left free without any pressure.
Yeah.
They will be left free without any pressure. And that was the reason why in the 33rd minute they were able to create from this particular instance. Because now Jordan Ayew, in our 4-1-4-1 shape, we asked him to press one of their pivots. It means that their back three, we are not going to press them.
Yeah.
And on this show, I've said it, that with Panama and their long balls, most of the time it comes from the left-sided center back. So if you don't press them, it means that they will go long. And once they go long, they are going to punish you on that. And this was the 33rd minute. If Ghanaians could recall, this long ball created a chance for Panama. And they nearly scored from this particular instance. It was Jerome Opoku who, shoved the player and then Atizigi was able to save.
It looked like a penalty then.
Yes, it looked like. And it seems it's from this particular instance where Atigi got his injury, and then after the first half he was unable to continue.
Yeah.
So that was how it came about. This chance from Panama came about where Ghana decided to shift our pressing from a 4-4-2 to a 4-1-4-1, telling Jordan Ayew to sit on one of the pivots and leave the three center backs of Panama free. And I've told you, once they are free, they are very good with their long balls. And at this particular instance, they had that long ball. Now, in the game, this is still one of the dilemmas for Calibrienchi that I was speaking about. And remember, this was minute 45.
Yeah.
So as early as the 16th minute, as the 12th minute, where this issue arose in the game, as at minute 45, Ghana, the technical team, had still not been able to figure out a solution as to whether Calibrienchi should press player A or should press player B. And this was minutes 45 plus 5 minutes, and then we've done 2 minutes of that. So this was still the dilemma for Ghana with their double pivot. Now they were still free again, and that was a very a very big one for us. But just before the first half, Ghana showed a little bit of danger and then what we are capable of doing, and this is an instance of it. But before this particular image, let's look at this image, because this image really struck me. Now in the game, Nathan, looking at Ghana and then how we decided to attack, we decided to go with a long ball and then feed off with our runners. So at this particular instance, just before the halftime, what we did was that we go for a long ball. Antoine Semenyo stood at the focal point, received this was where the manager decided to shift Semenyo central and then let Kamaldeen go wide. Yeah. So Semenyo will receive the ball and then try to feed off the runners with Nyama, Jordan, and then Kamaldeen their pace. He decided to feed them off. But with this particular instance, the referee flagged for an offside. But it was a warning sign for Panama that if Ghana wants to hurt you, they will do it in transition. And we showed them this on the stroke of halftime, that we can really hurt you in transition. Now, yesterday, on the Copa Mundo show, I said that with Panama, the linearity of their back line is susceptible because all the time it's not very straight. And at this particular instance, we can see this shape from Panama, more of a W shape, which their back line, their back five, were not in a straight line. Yeah. And it means that once they are not in a straight line, our players, there are spaces inside for our players, to run, and then play. Yeah. Yes. So this was the image that I was looking for. On the stroke of halftime, now we push Kamaldeen wide, so Nyama Kamaldeen wide, Semenyo central with Jordan. Now this was a long ball. Now if you look at the center of this pitch, it was only Eliza who was around the center of this pitch. It means that Ghana, we were looking forward to go long and then try to feed them off. But there's a wide triangle here that, to be very honest with you, I wasn't impressed about it. Central midfielder deep, right back, right winger, and even their proximity.
Yeah.
How close they are here. To me, it wasn't the best. But this was just on the stroke of halftime. So after the first half, I was looking at how Ghana, are going to press against Panama. How we are going to correct our pressing. So they decided to shift back into their 4-4-2. But with this particular one, there was some player roles given to them.
Okay.
Now, Raymond, whenever you are pressing and you have a problem with the pressing structure, it's not all the time that you have to, change the entire pressing formation. No. At times, it's just the player roles that must be, redefined. Because looking at the player roles of Ghana, as I initially explained, now, at the start of the second half, around the 50th minute, Ghana decided that, okay, let's shift back to our 4-4-2. The pressing shape that we started the game with. Let's shift back to the 4-4-2. But in that 4-4-2, now what we did was that Jordan and then Kamaldeen, our front two, or Jordan and then Semenyo, whoever becomes the front two, you must sit on the double pivot of Panama. Because in the first half, most of the time they were free. So if we can, prevent that, then it means that we must sit on them. And that's what we call the shadow, the shadow press. So you must, cover them as a shadow, so that whenever these guys, the back three, they have the ball, they cannot give the ball to them. Again, what we decided to do with the wide areas was very simple. Now Ghana decided that if the ball is on the left side, so assuming the ball is with the left-sided center back and he passes the ball to the left wing back. Now, the ball side winger, you must go and press. So wait, your starting position must be inside. Leave the wide areas free. So once the ball goes wide, then you go there to press. And once you go here to press, now it means that Calibrianchi will be able to press this particular player and he wouldn't be, left in between two players as he was most of the time in the first half. So with this particular change in the pressing structure of Ghana, this was how we did it. So the front two, in this instance, it was Jordan and then Semenyo. You were asked to, okay, now guys, man-mark them. Leave the back three free. Because the pivots are always free and they were receiving the ball. So now man-mark the pivot, leave the back three free, and now the wingers, the technical team defined their roles for them. Once the ball is on your side, the ball side winger, you must follow through and try to press. And that was how we decided to press in the second half. With this particular pressing shape, it limited Panama. And from this instance was the point where now Ghana was, were building momentum a little in the game.
Yeah.
I am thinking that for Panama and then their manager, they also were unable to make any tactical adjustment to this one that Ghana did. Me, to be very honest, at this World Cup, so far the games that I've watched, the game that is the weakest in terms of technique and then tactics, I'll go for Ghana and then Panama.
Yeah.
The weakest in terms of tactics and then technique, I'll go for Ghana and then Panama. Because we've seen how Ghana struggled before we were able to, devise a pressing strategy to be able to stop this particular back three. And now with Panama, as soon as Ghana was able to do some little tweaks to stop them from, getting the free men inside, they were also unable to, make any counter tweak to it. And they decided to play the same way that they did throughout. And with Ghana, let me say this, there were positives in our game. And the first one was the compactness within our block. Whenever Ghana decided to, defend deep, they were very compact. And to me, that one really helped us. But I'm thinking about Panama with their three back. In the three back, in Ghana's group, we have Croatia, who also plays with a three back. And to me, the back three of Croatia is, the three-back system is more potent than that of Panama. So if we are struggling in this way to be able to devise a way to stop the double pivot of Panama, then it means that against Croatia, if we are unable to, really devise a very good strategy, we are going to struggle. And trust me, the double pivot in this instance, if it was to be Croatia, it will be Luka Modric in there.
Yeah.
So if you are going to leave them free for about 1 hour without you really knowing how to stop them from receiving the ball, as we did against Panama, I am thinking that would be a problem for us. Again, in the 64th minute, the manager did, or before this particular incident, the manager did some changes, and as I said, it was not formational change. It was just like for like change. And I would want to explain it here. It was just a like for like change. So what he did was very simple. Now, in the changes, Kwesi Sibo will come for Elisha Owusu.
Yeah.
In the changes, Brandon Thomas Asante, he will come for Kamaldeen Sulemana. So it meant that Semenyo would play wide, and then it would be Asante and then Jordan up front. Now in the changes, Fatah Usahaku will come for Enes Niyama. And this is like for like change. Now, if a manager makes a like for like change, it means that he feels that his formation, his system, and whatever he's doing is right. Just that the individuals within the formation are not doing their jobs very well, or they are tired. And that is why he decided not to make a formational change, rather a like for like change. So the like for like change was that, okay, Mickey, up from your chair, Immortal, in the same chair. So it is the same thing, just that the personnel inside had been changed. So Ghana did a like for like change. It wasn't any, formational change. No, it was just a like for like change.
So if he had decided to go for a formational change, then we would have possibly seen the introduction of Inaki Williams.
That is the point. We'd have possibly seen Inaki Williams, or even to some extent Augustine Boache.
Yeah.
That with that you can you can make a formational change with that. But what he did was a like for like change.
Right.
And if I am England and I'm watching this, and I see the manager making a like for like change, it means that throughout the 90 minutes he played the same way. Just that he was able to win because of the personnel change.
Yeah.
So with that, it means that he's come to play the same way against me, and I'm going to prepare against that. So yes, the manager did well by those changes and all that, but it wasn't any tactical change or a formational change. No, it was just a like for like change, changing the personnel.
And the personnel delivered.
Yes, and they, to be very honest, they delivered.
Yeah.
So it meant that the manager knew that whatever it is that he was doing was working. Just that he needed different profile of people on the field to to really help him. Now in the 64th minute, once again, Ghana gave them a warning sign. Panama, Ghana gave them a warning sign. Now this was a ball from Abdul Fattah Isaku locating Thomas Brandon Asante. But listen, let's pay some attention here. You see, in running to attack the box, there's a detail here that I would want to highlight. Now we have what we call a straight run and what we call a curved run. Whenever you are running to attack the box, and here I am referencing Jordan Ayew because he was the one who made that run. If Ghanaians could recall, it was the chance where Brandon Thomas Asante, put the ball, a cutback inside the box, but Jordan was unable to connect. That is the chance that I'm speaking about.
The defender stepped in ahead of him.
Yes. So, as you rightfully said, the defender stepped in ahead of Jordan. So why? It comes back to the type of run that Jordan Ayew made. Now, in attacking the box, Raymond, we have two types of runs. We have the straight run and then the curved run. Now, you go for the straight run if you are ahead of the defender.
Okay.
So, if the defender is behind you, then it means that you must go with a straight run. With that, if he fouls you, it's a straight red card. With that, if you get into the box and then the cutback comes in, since you are ahead, you will get the first touch to the ball. So that is the straight run. And then we have what we call the curved run. Now you do the curved run if you are behind the defender. So if the defender is in front of you, you don't go with a straight run, because if you go with a straight run, he's in front of you. So it is likely for the defender to get to the ball before you get to the ball. So it means that once the defender is ahead, you must go with a curved run. And let me, take us back to Egypt against Belgium. Emma Shaw.
Okay.
Even Emma Shaw.
Yeah.
The goal that he scored.
Yeah.
He saw that the defender was, in front of him, so he didn't go with a straight run. He curved it, came inside, controlled the ball, and then scored the goal. Again, in the Champions League, was it Man City against Real Madrid? There was an instance there. No, it was Real Madrid against Bayern. Real Madrid against Bayern. Luis Diaz's goal. Yeah. The one that he made that curved run against, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
So once the defender is ahead, you don't go with a straight run, you go with a curved run. But looking at this instance, Jordan Ayew went for a straight run. And that was why the defender, was able to get to the ball before Jordan.
Yeah.
Because in these instances, you must go for the curved run and not the straight run. So that is something that I really wanted to, to explain. Now, around the same 64th minute, Ghana, we were now using the wide build-up. It meant that we paid little attention to the center of the field, and then we decided to build our pressing through the wide areas. And it was through this wide build-up that we were able to create that particular chance for Jordan Ayew. Unfortunately, he was unable to get there before the center back of Panama. Now to the Caleb Irenchi goal. So with the Irenchi's goal, this is the analysis of it. It was a pass from the left back, Gideon Mensah.
So, Coach, before you touch on your Irenchi's goal, Michael, you remember in the 89th minute, there was a similar move.
Yeah.
That was ruled offside.
Yeah.
It was Brandon Thomas. He was directly through on goal.
Yes.
And in that same move, Caleb Irenchi made the same run.
He made the same run.
Okay, so let me
back
again to the game against Wales.
Yeah.
Who scored that goal?
Caleb Irenchi.
How did he score
the same
it?
Run.
Same.
Exactly. So it is much more of a rehearsed pattern. It is what we do at training. Make midfielders rush into the box, let the attackers drift to the wide positions, and then let your central attackers drift to the middle. So they alternate positions. It kind of confuses the opponent, but it creates space for the on-rushing midfielder to always be available, most especially in the 6-yard box, and connect the ball.
Yeah.
And Mickey, again with this, it tells you one thing about Caleb Irenchi.
Exactly. Profile.
The profiling of him. And again, it means that he has, great stamina. Because as you said, he did the first one in the 89th minute.
Yes.
Then at the 89th minute, most players will be carrying down.
Yeah.
And for a player to make a run in the 89th minute and repeat it in the 90+3. So it means that the stamina of Caleb Irenchi is there. And mind you, throughout the game, with Ghana's pressing and all that, he was instrumental trying to press and we've shown the images and everything. So aside the fact that he was everywhere on the field trying to press, whenever we had the ball, he was also there trying to attack the box. And this particular instance, to me, I was very, very happy. Now, if you are to count the number of players for Panama, you see, at the 90+3, Panama needed a win. Ghana needed a win. So the game became what we call a transitional game.
End-to-end stuff.
End-to-end stuff. So once you have the ball, come and kill me. But if I get it, I'm also coming for you.
Yeah.
So if you come at me, you better not miss. For Panama, they committed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players up front. Now, if you commit 8 players up front, it means that if it's left with only 2 players at the back for Panama. But now we know that Panama defends very well in a back 5. But since they committed 8 players up front, now it's left with 2 players. And with Ghana, in the game, they did this movement around the 45th minute, which was flagged offside. They did this movement around the 64th minute. They did this movement around the 89th minute, and then they repeated it again. It means that it is a training pattern for Ghana. So with this, it means now Ghana, once they want to attack you, they do it in a quick transition. And don't forget the goal that we scored even against Wales, it was a similar, pattern. So it means that it is a pattern for Team Ghana. So one of our attacking patterns is that we attack with numbers and in a very quick transition. So to end this, in the transition, now Ghana had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Panama had 4. Raymond, if you could recall, in my first interview with Nathan, I told you that to be able to beat Panama, it is likely to beat them in the second half.
Yeah.
And the reason was simple. In the second half, they cannot, do the recovery runs all the time. No. So to me, when the game came in the second half, I wasn't surprised at all. And at this instant, let me praise Brandon Thomas Asante. Very few players in this case at that moment will decide to pass.
Yeah.
Because the game is about to end. So once you are in the box, most players will decide to take the glory for himself. Let me try to shoot. But he decided that no. And this is a player who had done that in the 64th minute, but we were unable to score. So for some players, you would think that, okay, I've done that in a game. It didn't result in a goal. So for this one, let me go for solo. Let me try my luck. Let me play a shot. Maybe there will be a Ghana player to, tap in from the rebound. But he decided that no, let me put the ball there. And yesterday on the Copa Mundo show, I told V-Power that if Ghana can score from crosses and some of these situations, once you are running inside the box, you must run in between players of Panama. And my reason was simple. Panama, most of the time, their center backs, they focus too much on the ball. And yesterday, I explained it on the Copa Mundo so that whenever you are a defense line and you are defending, there are 3 things to look out for. 1, you must defend against the ball. So you must look out for the ball. That is 100% true. The second one is you must look at your teammate to be able to maintain the defensive line.
Right.
And then the third one is that you must look out for the opponent. Who is coming. So you don't just stand there and be caught ball watching alone. No, you cannot focus on only the ball and be a good defensive line. You must look for the ball. You must look for the opponent. You must look for your teammates. So yesterday on the Copa Mundo, so I said that Panama most of the time focuses on the ball, leaving their defensive line, leaving the teammates. And it was through one of those instances where Caleb was able to to tap in for Ghana. Now, Raymond, the most important thing for Ghana is these 3 points. Because now in the group, England 3 points, Ghana 3 points. Now, all that Ghana has to do is, Ghana has just one job to do. Against Croatia, against England. Out of 6, just look for 1 point and you qualify to the next stage. Out of 6, look for 1 point, you will be able to qualify to the next stage. Now, today on the Copa Mundo show, we will analyze England against Croatia into detail, so that we will understand it. And whenever and when the game gets closer, England against Ghana, we are going to analyze the game for us to know the weaknesses in the English team, where Ghana can exploit them, and then the mistakes that we did and how we can correct them. But in the game, once again, Kevin, you see, yesterday I was speaking about the possession game that they were playing. Yeah. Can't you see that Ghana with the ball, we were really struggling to connect even 5 or 10 passes together. And to me, it comes back to the possession games.
Yeah.
Now, Nathan, in football, as a coach, possession game is where you build your basis.
Yeah.
Possession game, it is where you build your basis. Whether you are a possession team, you are a counter-attacking team, or whichever, it is where you build your basis.
You must hold the ball.
Because your players must know how to connect some few passes together. And to me, watching that video over again, with the Ghana players, talking a lot and in quote, playing a lot during the possession game, I think that in our next training sessions, the technical handlers must be very watchful of that. At least they must focus on that particular area so that our players can control the ball better and can pass better. And in the video that the FA posted, do you know the player who lost most of the ball because he couldn't pass to a teammate? It was Ajeti. And yesterday in the game, he was the Mr. Bim Bim for us. So what happened in the possession game? The same thing, happened on the field. And I think that is one area that we must really improve. Not because we want to all of a sudden change into a possessive team and then dominate possession 70-30, 80-20. No. But at least so that Ghana can string some couple of passes together. So once again, congrats to the Black Stars. The most important thing in this game was the victory. Now we have our 3 points against Croatia, against England. Strategize very, very well, and then get at least 1 point from those 2 games, and we'll be good to go.
Coach, if you're done with the screen presentation, just join us here so we wrap up the conversation quickly on the Stars. Yeah, Michael, I mean, Coach has detailed everything that happened in that game. What we did right, what we didn't do right. Now, if you are Carlos Queiroz and you've had a chance to watch this game again, would you say, well, let me try the same things against England in our next game, or would you be concerned and feel you may have to change a lot in the upcoming game against England?
Definitely, a lot needs to change. I think that. Yes, the timing of the winning goal may have papered over a lot of cracks in the Ghana team. It would also quell a lot of concerns in many Ghanaians who watched the game. I saw a video on social media where some fans were leaving as late as the 89th minute, and then you hear the concerns they were sharing, and they were genuine, they were real.
Yeah.
We did not play well. We had a lot of flaws in our game. And if I was the coach of Ghana, I would be very concerned. This was against, let's say by far, in terms of World Cup pedigree whatsoever, the lowest team in the group.
And it was potentially, on paper,
the must win. Exactly.
Ghana's only winnable
exactly.
game.
So if you struggle in that manner against such an opponent, then you have to take out that Ghana performance, match it with what we saw from Croatia, what we saw with England. Then you know definitely that there is a lot that must change about our game. There must be tactical tweaks, there must be personnel changes as well. And the personnel changes does not just relate to changing player A for player B. Roles must also be redefined. Because our biggest strength is our direct plays, our transitional play. If that is the case, then Jordan Ayew is not well suited to such a role. But then again, he plays a certain role out of possession.
Right.
So we must find a way to get the right balance. What is it that we want from Jordan Ayew, for instance? Excuse me, it looks like I'm just singling him out, but it might be unfair. I'm only using this to help us in the analysis.
Right.
What do we want from him? Is it his on-the-ball qualities? Is it well suited to the kind of players that we have? In fact, in the entire game, or in the entire duration that Jordan lasted on the pitch, he never made an open play successful pass into the opponent's penalty box.
Right.
Only 3 instances did he get balls into the opponent's penalty box, and those were from set plays. So the point is that what do we want from Jordan? Can he give it? Will it bring the best out of our attack? Which coach has clearly defined as one that thrives on direct play, quick transitions. So there must be redefining of roles or changing personnel. Tactically, again, yes, our central defenders, they dominated the aerial duels. They had 100% success rate in terms of aerial duels. That was beautiful. But in terms of the distribution, if you look at our passing map, our central defenders passed more between themselves and then to the wide channels more than they passed forwards. Which might be an issue. If you face any opponent that presses you as efficient as we've seen from Croatia and then England, we might be under trouble because, again, these are players who are not press averse. If you press them, they will concede possession one way or the other. So I think there are issues that we need to sort out in our team. It is not a flawless performance. The result is good, but trust me, Raymond, if we want to just pin on the result and think, oh, Ghana, we are done, we might be laughing at the wrong side of our mouths.
Let me ask Coach this question. Coach, just, maybe in 2 minutes, what would the team have looked like in terms of their pressing, in terms of their ball progression? What would the team have looked like had Partey played this game?
You see, Thomas Partey as a player has one quality that to me in the Ghana team nobody has it. He plays impossible passes.
Okay.
Thomas Partey plays passes at angles you would never expect him to play those passes to. So to me, with Partey, now because of the energy and then the stamina of Calibrinci, you can pair Partey and then Caleb. So Caleb will give you those runs into the box, and then Partey will give you those passes into the box. As Mickey said, it was very difficult for Ghana, our midfielders, to locate the forward runs with excellent passes. And with that, we have Thomas Partey, who is very good at doing that. The only problem is that at times, whenever we play these players at the national team, we play them out of position. And I remember one of the Ghana games, we played Thomas Partey as a number 10. Was it was it Coach Kwesi?
Yeah. I think that was after his explosive performance against Congo, where he scored a lot of goals. And
was it the hat trick?
He scored a hat trick.
Then all of a sudden, we decided to play Partey as a number 10.
Yeah.
So clearly means that you will not get the best out from him. So to me, if you are to pair Partey and then Caleb, now at Arsenal they were pairing Partey with Declan Rice, Partey with Xhaka. What does Declan Rice and then Calibrinci, Xhaka have in common? The runs into the box
to box.
The stamina, they have that. So you can decide to do the same thing here with the Ghana national team. Pair Partey, pair him with Calibrinci. Now the Irenchi will give you those runs into the box, those stamina, you do those defensive works and all that, and then Partey will give us those passes. Because to me, in our team, I want to repeat myself again. Partey plays impossible passing. Impossible. Football angles you would never expect, and then he will pass the ball.
Maybe another best way to put it, he plays more line breaking passes than any other player in our team.
Absolutely. But there's still a lot to look forward to. Time is fast spent. Nathan Kwao is preparing to bring us inside French football in the next 10 minutes. But the analysis would continue on Copa Mundo at 2 p.m. today. Sure. So tune in to Copa Mundo at 2 p.m. The World Cup analysis would continue. The games that have been played already. The review would be on that show. And of course, to bring you a preview of the games to look forward to today. There are some interesting games to look forward to as the second round of the competition begins. Let me take you through some of the games to look forward to. Today, the 18th of June, 2026. Now you have Czech Republic taking on South Africa. South Africa will be desperate for all 3 points in this one. Switzerland will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. And then you have Qatar. They will play against the host nation, Canada, in one of the games today. And then the games will continue into tomorrow. You have host nation, Mexico, taking on South Korea. So these are the games to look forward to. 4 games, 3 today, 1 tomorrow at 1 a.m. So just make sure you are live on Sporty FM. Just make sure you are following Sporty FM's coverage of the World Cup because at 2 p.m. we'll bring you Copa Mundo, which is an exclusive World Cup show. Coach Kwabena Danso will be there to bring you on the analysis, the review and preview of all the games that have been played so far and the games that will be played, of course. And so just make sure you are live on Sporty FM. Nathan will be joining us in the next 8 minutes with Inside French Football. But let me say a big thank you to the entire production team. Let me say a big thank you to my man, Michael Asarigwedu. Let me say a big thank you to Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. Let me say a big thank you to Coach Kwabena Danso for joining us. Earlier on, Coach Aiku joined us all the way from Toronto, Canada. A big thank you to him as well. Now, we say a big thank you to the entire production team. I mean, these guys have barely had sleep. Emmanuel Ayamga, Abigail Sena Sosu, Yusuf Desaja, Isa Fidelis and Chiaje, Nathan Kwao himself, Immortal Ejakwa Champo. All these guys have, worked the shift to make sure we've brought you this very special edition of Sporty Breakfast. And to the technical team, they have been with us right from yesterday. They have been pulling strings for us right from all our watch parties, the one at Gold Coast, the watch party at Good Park as well, and then of course the watch party at the Athletic Oval. I mean, all these guys have worked their socks off just to make sure our World Cup coverage has been top. A big thank you to all the guys, technical guys led by Biggie, Douglas, Jonathan, Trish, Yeyo. Massive shout outs to you guys for holding the fort. Massive shout outs for putting in the job. Our team lead, Gary Al Smith, also coordinating all the stuff from the United States of America and Canada. Big shout outs to Gary Al Smith and to the entire team. You guys have done a yeoman's job, and more power to your elbows, more grease to your elbows, guys. Congratulations once again for putting up a solid show and giving Ghanaians what they deserve. Sporty FM, we are the voice of sport. And as always, we promise to give you nothing but the best in sports coverage during this World Cup. But let me remind you once again that our exclusive coverage of this World Cup is proudly brought to you by Pepsodent. Do the two, brass day and night. And of course, Club Beer, cheers to our Charlie. And then Didi Jollof, Didi, Nesam Brebium. Handy Farms, more than a farm, Ghana's mango elevated from farm to table. And to the European Union, supporting community engagement and youth participation through sports. A big thank you to you. The FIFA World Cup 2026 on Sporty FM, the world's greatest football tournament on Ghana's biggest sports station, Sporty FM. Sporty FM, of course, we are the voice of sport. Programming continues. At 12, we bring you the news. At 12:30, we bring you Sporty Plug. At 2 p.m., we bring you Copamundo with V-Power. At 4 p.m., we bring you our coverage. We bring you the start of our coverage of today's games. And we'll be bringing you live commentary of our first game between Czech Republic and South Africa. That's when we start our broadcast of today's World Cup games. We'll take you all through the night to our last game between Mexico and South Korea. Keep your dials logged on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. My name is Raymond Yamado. I've been here in studio with Nathan Kwao, who supported me all through. And Nathan Kwao will be joining us in the next 5 minutes with Inside French Football. Keep listening to Sporty FM. Sporty FM,